origins and the influence factors. So so that everybody can benefit from that. So basically, so I would go into the comparative study between Sufism and basically Sikhism. So everybody, how it came into existence and what were the influencing factors. So see, Sikhism was founded in the 15th century by DhunAnand Dev Ji in Punjab, a region that was melting pot of the Hindu bhakti, mysticism, and Islamic Sufi traditions. Both movements emphasize devotion, personal experience of the divine, and rejected ritualistic and institutionalized religion. So Sufism, the mystic branch of Islam, has taken root in India by the 12th century by figures like Khwaja Moinuddin and Chishti of Ajmer, Baba Farid and Nizamuddin Aulia of Punjab. The Bhakti movement had already influenced northern India with saints like Kabir, Ravidas, and Namdev, whose verses are included in the Guru Granth Sahib, the sixth scriptures. So the key influencing factors from Sufism or Sikhism is then monotheism and inner experience. Both Sufism and Sikhism are monoaesthetic, advocating a formless, transcendent God. Like Sufis, Sikh gurus emphasized direct communion with God through Naam or divine name and meditation. So this is on the, and secondly, equality and social justice. Both traditions rejected casteism and upheld human equality. Sikhism institutionalized this through practices like community kitchen or langar and congregation or sangat. So the poetic and the musical devotion. Sufis express devotion through poetry, qawwali, and dance. Like, for example, Rumi and Hafiz. Sikh gurus also use poetry and music, rag-based Gurbani, to convey spiritual truths. Now, coming to these are all the common factors between Sufism and Sikhism. So we have a better understanding the origins and what influenced what. So the fourth point is basically is anti-ritualism. Both critique the rigidities of ritualistic practice in the former religion and promoted love, devotion, and ethical living. So this is ethical living. So, but we know that the Sufi influence, notable Sufi influence in India were Baba Sheikh Farid, 1173 to 1266. Guru Nanak Dev Ji admired Farid's spiritual depth and ethical tone. His inclusion signals a philosophical and poetic alignment with the Sikh worldview. Farid's poetry spoke of detachment, humility, and the futility of ego, aligning with Sikh teachings on spiritual discipline and renunciation of ego or home. So if we go to the comparative study, in 15th century and within Islam, Arab, Persian, and Indian regions. Now, the core belief of, I'm doing a comparative study of both sort of Sufism and Sikhism, so the understanding is better, what are the common factors? And then everybody can relate to it. When we are doing Rumi, or there will be more appreciation of that. So core belief is in Sikhism is one formless God, and in Sufism, one Allah, divine love, unity with the beloved. Scriptures, in Sikhism, we have Guru Granth Sahib as a scripture, but in the Sufism, there is no scripture. It is only influenced by Quran, Sharif, and poetry. Now, the spiritual practice basically is, in Sikhism, is Naam Simran and community service, whereas in Sufism, it is dikhar, which is called remembrance, sama, which is music, and murshid, guidance. These are the sort of the tenets of Sufism. Language, of course, we know in Sikhism is Gurmukhi or Punjabi, and Sufism is Persian, Urdu, Arabic, regional languages. Mysticism is in Sikhism is integral but grounded in community action, and in Sufism is highly mystical, individualistic inner journey. And Sikhism, the view on rituals, rejected ritualism, focus on inner devotion, and Sufism rejected orthodox rituals, embraced inner mysticism. Poets and saints during the Sikhism is Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Kabir Ji, Baba Farid, and Bhagat Ravidas, whereas in Sufism we have Rumi, Hafiz, Baba Farid, Mohiuddin Chishti, and institutionalization is basically the only in Sikhism where there are 10 gurus and the Khalsa Gurdwara. So, but in Sufism, mostly informal networks of Sufi orders, which are called tariqas. So this is a lot of an initial sort of a comparative study of these two religions and what were the influencing factors. So
thank you, Uncle. That was very informative. If you have these notes, it would be nice to post them also.
I have made this. I'll have it typed and do it. And this is a handwritten by research, which I had done previously. So I just wanted to put it there. So it's a relatively very systematic comparative study of both. So I think that should be enough for today, and we will make it more interesting next time. So we'll take up something more, and where we can also go into the historical background if we want to. See, basically, Rumi was in the time period is 1207 to 1273. And Baba Sheikh Farid is 1173 to 1286. Now, Bhai Nandlal Ji, this is 1633 to 1730. See the sequence. Rumi, 1207 to 1273. Sheikh Farid, 1173 to 1266. So Sheikh Rumi and Baba Sheikh Farid were almost concurrent, if we see. Yeah. Almost concurrent. So these are the factors which we all should know, and I think that will be enough for today. And I'll give the floor to Leila Ji.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for this useful information. I think we would like to learn more about this. I didn't know about Sikhism that much, so it's very useful. I would like with this session, maybe I would like to share with you the screen. As I told you before, we want to go to the second verse of Nehnama. I would like to say that these first 18 verses of Masnavi, after Rumi, many people called it Nehnama. Ney, we talked about it before, means read, and Name in Persian means letter. So you can suppose in these 18 letters, the speaker is a reed who is narrating his own story since he was cut from his land and came here, and he is narrating his lament. So this 18 lines is called Nehnama, or I don't know in English how can we call it, the letter by reed, or what a reed, reed's lament maybe. But the second line, I don't know if you remember the first line or not. It was, who can read the first line? Who wants to read the first line one more time to us?
The first line.
The first line, yes.
Kiz nistan ta mara bebarande as nafrin mard va zan nalide and.
This is the second line, of course. What was the first line we learned in the previous session? Do you remember that line?
Bishno
از نی چون حکایت می کند از جدایی ها. بشنو از نی چون شکایت می کند از جدایی ها حکایت می کند. And the second line, کز نیستان تا مرا ببریده اند از نفیرم مرد و زن نالیده اند.
But the shikayat is of the judai ha, so it's
yes.
Bishno azne chun hikayat
mikon. Yes, the shikayat mikonad is
az
in
judai
some
ha
shikayat mikonad. Of course, in some versions, hikayat and shikayat in some manuscripts
are changed,
placed differently. But the best manuscript, the best edition is Nicholson's edition, which shikayat mikonad is in the second half line. So کز نیستان تا مرا ببریده اند, as we had it before means from. So as نیستان. So in the previous session we talked about ney. Ney means reed or flute, and estan in Persian is a suffix which shows the place. We used this suffix in other words like bustan, golestan. I think maybe in Punjabi language this suffix exists. I'm not sure. But Neyestan means a land of Ney, or realm of Ney. So kaz Neyestan ta means ever since. Mara and Yani ever since is the verb. As I told you before, verb in Persian comes in the end. Bobri, the end, is plural verb, means they cut me. So because of this, many translators, they translated like a passive voice. They said, I was parted from the reed bed. But literally, I can say they separated me, they parted me, they have parted me from the reed bed. So کز نیستان تا مرا ببریده and, could you please read together with me? کز نیستان تا مرا ببریده and, کز نیستان تا مرا
breed.
and this word is a little bit maybe hard because it has two b after each other. Bobride and they perfect. Bobride and this and in the end shows that this verb is third person plural. So they cut me. This personal ending for third person plural for they. They have cut me from the reed bed. As nafiram, perfect. As nafiram, perfect. Mardozan, perfect. Mard means man and zan means woman. Mardozan. Mardozan nalide and de and three syllable nalide. And nalidan in Persian means to mourn. Can I say to mourn, to kind of cry, to mourn. So mardozan nalide and so as again means from or here we can say by. Nafir means I don't know, laments or crying my laments.
In sorrow.
As nafira, it's not only sorrow, the song you sing it with sorrow. Yes. The state of this song is sorrow. But nafir is singing or crying loudly. As nafira mardozan nalide and so ever since I was cut from the reed bed or the land of reed, man and woman means everyone has mourned with me. So this ney or this reed believes that if we hear any moaning in this world, this moaning is only echo. It's an echo of reed's moaning. Do you understand it?
Yes.
So because reed was separated from the union with God, from the divine realm, from the divine place, which is Neyestan here. So Neyestan symbolized a place where we united. Yes, we united with divine. So Neyestan is the place of Ney, is the origin of Ney. So when the Ney is separated from its origin, it will mourning forever. And in mourning, full of sorrow, but it shows eagerness to come back to that origin. So let's go to word by word meaning. I put it here. I give all of you access, or you can watch the movie again to see what word by word meaning. So as means from. Let's come to the first half line. Kaz neyestan, as you see, kaz means that from. Ke as. In Persian, it's separation of ke as. Ke az neyestan. Ta mara. Ney here I put just to show Neyestan, but it's not part of the poem here. تا مرا ببریده اند یعنی since مرا means me, ببریده and they have parted me. از نفیرم یعنی from my lemons, نفیرم. Look at am at the end of nafir. Nafir is the original word and am here is possessive pronouns, means my lemons. از نفیرم مرد و زن. Mard, and this also you are learning in poetry we pronounce it o, but in prose we pronounce it va. Mard و زن نالیده اند. Would you like to read the second half line one more time?
It's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Can you read it again loudly? از نفیرم مرد و زن نالیده اند.
مرد و زن نالیده اند.
Perfect. از نفیرم مرد و زن نالیده اند. And here by man, مرد و زن نالیدن. Here Rumi says مرد و زن, but he is speaking about all existence.
The humanity.
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 Yes.
The question, the whole humanity is lamenting, or basically the whole humanity is in an anguish.
Exactly. Or is longing to come back to that origin. All humanity longing.
Yeah, longing. You're separated from the Almighty God. So this separation is compelling. You are in anguish to go back to Him. So that this is anguish or lamentation, or you're lamenting.
Exactly. Exactly. So the word today we want to learn, letter by letter, is Neyestan. In the previous session, we learned Ney itself means reed. So as I told you, Neyestan, estan, is a suffix to show a place, like Gulistan, a place for flower, Bustan, yes, again, a place for flowers. So,
just for the reference of the others, like we have Hindustan, Pakistan.
Hindustan, again, exactly. Pakistan, exactly. This estan shows place, is a suffix for place. So Neyestan is in English, we say bed or but the land for reed. So the origin of reed. Neyestan. So we are learning, in the previous session, we learned ne, the letter ne, initial and final. But today we have 4 letters to learn. First of all, ye, consonant of ye. It's written like this when it is final form, and it is different when we write it separately. We had it in the previous session. Yes, this is final form. This is the standalone form. So ne, like nun, we had it before. So I don't stop here. I go to, we had it before, of course. We should go to te. Neyestan. So this is te. We would like to learn te. Te. It's very, in the previous session, we learned beshno. It has 1 dot below, but te has 2 dots above, very similar to be in the previous session. Do you see how we write te? Could you please write it down in your paper? and show it to me. Te initial form. Te medial form. I would like to show you mine. And sorry. This is my te. Do you see? This is te in Persian. So we start from right side of the page. We continue to the left. I don't see Shiv, but I see Aman is showing me. And yes, Shiv and Gurpreet. Great. And yes, so this is te. We call it te. Let me, how can I show you? Te.
Is there a refractive te and a non-refractive te in Farsi? So, like in Uncle, like in Punjabi, we have tatta and a tanka. Are there two?
Yes, we call them Persian te and Arabic te. Yes, you mean te with long line over. This is te. We call it Arabic te because usually the words with that te are they have origin in Arabic language. So, but this te is the most simple te. We use it a lot. In Neyestan, we used it. Okay, so I come back to the page. So this is te, and like the word tut, could you please read it after me? Tut.
Tut.
And repeat tab. Tab.
Tab.
Tab. So te plus
Tab.
a plus b, we learned it beshno. In beshno, we learned this before. Tab. And
Tab.
perfect. And ketab, here we have ke at the beginning, and ta, te, medial form, and aleph and be, ketab. And the last one, repeat after me, dast.
Dast.
Dast. Yes, dast means hand, dast. So, Neyestan, you see, Neyestan has te here. Do you see te in Neyestan?
Yes.
This yellow word is Neyestan, the word we are learning in the second verse. Start with ne, and then ye, medial form of ye, and then se. Look at this se. This is se in Persian. Do you see? Se. It is like we call it in schools. In the school, we call it we call it teeth. Teeth.
Sawtooth.
Because
sawtooth.
Because it's very similar to teeth. Tree like this, we call it teeth se. Because we have also Arabic se, we call it differently. So Neyestan, this is aleph. Do you see aleph? Do you recognize it? Oh, so Neyestan. So look at Neyestan. This is beautiful. Start with ne, initial form of ne, ends in final or standalone kind of ne. Why? Aleph never attached should is we learn it.
Can I ask you something, Leila?
Yes, for sure, please.
So the Nayastan, the S is like a little W, like you said, the tooth or the tree.
You're right. This is like W, very small W that attached to the previous letter and the next letter. But W in what form? Let me show you.
And here
it's written
in Vaishno was also W with three
The three dots.
3 dots.
Right?
Thank you for this help. Yes, this is se. If I put 3 dots above, it's changed to be she. Very easy. So If I put these dots here, it changed to be she. If I remove it, this is se. And but final form has a round like this. This is a final form. When you see this shape, you see that this is final se. If I remove it, final she, and now final se.
So
Okay.
how does one know when it is final, when we must use the initial, when we must use the medial?
Yes.
How
When
does
you
one?
want to, good question. Good question. Two points. First of all, when you want to start a letter, start a word, writing a word, you need the initial form for first letter and medial form for the second letter. And if it has third letters, the last letters should be in final form. But if in this word there is a letter that doesn't like to take its hand to the next letter, so that the next letter should be written separately, like an initial form, cannot attach to the previous letter.
Prernaji, I was thinking about this, and one of the things I thought about, you know how in Hindi and Punjabi we have our words separate because we have the line on top, and in English we have a space between the letters. In Farsi, there's no such concept. The letters by themselves tell you when the word stops or starts. So when she says initial, it's when the word is starting. And so each letter has a starting and an ending form. So you will know if it is coming at the beginning of the word, it's using the initial form. If it's coming in the middle of the word, it'll come. And they're all related. As you can see, you know, if you have got a dot on the top, it's probably a noon, one dot, right? But you know, if it's in the middle, if it's a standalone alphabet, it's in the middle, or it's like an I when it's you know, in continuance.
Yes,
I see.
exactly. So we will learn slowly, we will learn that 7 letters in Persian, there are 7 letters they don't like to take their hands to the next letter. One of them is A. A never, ever attached to the next letter. So do you see A here?
Yeah.
A is here attached to T, which is the previous letter, but it's separated from Nun. So because Aleph is one of those 7 letters, they never attach to the next letter.
Like ek
Okay?
onkar.
Yes,
But in-
exactly. Now we are learning Neyestan. We want to focus on this letter. Do you see Ye? Neyestan.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
This is 2 dots below. When this is medial form, this is the medial form. Why medial form? Because from one side it attaches to ne, from the other side attaches to se. So we need a medial form. And medial form form. But final form, it has no dot. Isolated ye has no dot. And it's written, I don't know, how can you describe
Like
it to remember?
S and then
Yes, maybe I can say
half
it's
moon.
like a, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a S
I see it as a swan.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's
swan.
a swan.
Yeah,
Swan.
that's true
Yeah,
actually.
swan.
You're right. Yes, children at the school they draw a swan with this. Yeah, I remembered. You're right.
Okay, this is
So
why.
I ask you, please start drawing this one or writing this letter of yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The initial form is easy for you,
Mhm.
but medial form,
The
The isolated and final form are similar, right?
yes, you can suppose them, almost similar. Don't forget about these two forms. We write them similarly.
and
Okay?
this year is similar to burr, but it's the year has two dots below, and the burr has
Exactly.
one dot below. Is that
Because of this is a little bit confusing. Ye initial form
Mhm.
of ye is quite similar to be or te, which has two dots above, or be, which has one dot below. So this is be with one dot, but this is ye. And good news is that you are learning one important consonant, which is ye, and at the same time, you are learning a long vowel in Persian, which is E. Okay? E. E. Could you please repeat after me? E.
E,
E.
E. Like
E,
Sib means apple.
Eve.
Sib. Perfect.
Sib,
So
Sib,
Like babe.
this symbol in Persian represents consonants of ye and long vowel of e, depends on the
Where they are.
place where they are. So we will talk about it. Don't worry about consonants and vowel. But for now, we are learning in Negestan. The second letter is, as you see, Negestan, and the last letter is sin. Do you see final form, isolated form of se and initial form of se? Do you see it? Please try to imitate it, writing se in Persian. Okay? So probably now you understand why children at school, they call it teeth, because it's like a teeth. Because bad news is that we have three se. Okay? This is the first one of that. But it's the most important one
You
because
mean
it's
you
so
mean it is
common.
very sad that there are three says?
Yes, this is sad that we have three say in Persian.
it reminds me ECG, sawtooth ECG.
Yes. So this one is the most common one. Okay? Negestan. So you learned.
So Leila ji,
Mhm.
uh, how would you Nestan it has a little bit of a E in it. How would you write Nest?
East.
Is it
Good
Nest or Nest?
question.
East is
Nist, long vowel of E. It's written exactly like Negestan. So, oh, great. Yes, good word. How can I
So
write
it's
Nist for
exactly the
you?
same. It's Nest.
East.
So you would
Exactly.
just remove the
Negestan,
you
actually,
remove the on and then you
exactly.
East.
And who knows, maybe Rumi having it in mind. So nest, I would like to write nist. Nist means is not in Persian or does not exist. So let
East
me
is
write nist.
non-existent.
This is nist.
It's
Yes. So
non-existent.
look at what is the difference between ni. So here, guys, these two dots, ni, it doesn't sound ye. This is just nist. Nist. As I told
Write
you,
it
it
on the
sounds
computer.
e.
Could you
What?
write it? Could you type it out on
because
the
it's hard to
computer?
see. You're very small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Could you,
sure,
could
for
you
sure. I
thank you
can
so
type
much.
it
Or you
in
can
the.
stop sharing and then we can see you.
Yeah.
I see. Let me share with you my
Perfect. That's really
my
good. This makes
word
very good.
screen. Yes, for sure.
Thank you
I'm
so much, Betsy.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me. Yes. Okay. I would like to write Neyestan first and then Ney. So I make it bigger here.
Ne,
Neyes, ne,
Neyestan.
Neyestan.
and
And
Like,
then I'm
then
going to do this,
Nist.
and then this. How's that?
East.
Uh-huh. Nist. Perfect. Perfect, Shiv.
East.
Perfect.
But I don't know
I did.
where this goes now.
You have to close the door for te. Otherwise, it's open-ended. Nist.
Okay, so let
Do
me
you
remove this.
see?
I've never used this, but this is fascinating.
Yes, this is nice. Or so, friends,
Actually,
could you please look at this te and this te? What I did, I just used final form of te here. Why? Because this is the end of the word. But here I used medial form. Why? Because
just like noon, the dots shift in the middle.
Yes.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
So we learn all letters of نیستان که از نیستان تا مرا ببریده اند در نفیرم از نفیرم مرد و زن نالیدن. Now I would like to kind of, this is not what can I say? I would like to invite you or recommend to use a website that between this session until the next session, you by yourself practice Persian letters. And in this way, we can improve, easier and faster. But it doesn't mean I don't want to continue this method of teaching. I will continue, but you help me to improve faster. So please
Yeah,
use
if you can
this.
mention the website on the group chat,
Yes,
that would be great.
yes. I would like to show you the um, no, sorry. Okay. So I have to stop screen, share screen, and change my screen to this one. I put the link so that you can open it for yourself. So as you see, the good thing is that here you can see someone is writing with his pen is useful for you. And here you can see a table. This is a table for vowels, short vowels and long vowels. And here a table for whole letters. So the whole alphabet. So here you see we learned and B, but T in Nayastan, this, and we learn
See.
as Nayastan, what we learn Se, we
Ye.
learn Se, oh yes, we learn She, Se, She, Beshno in the previous session, and you see they are similar, just the dots, the number of dots is different. And here you see we learned O or V at the same time is consonant of V. And we learn ne, nun, this letter. And today we learn ye, at the same time is long vowel of e. Okay? So there are not a lot of letters for you. So we will continue this method, but you can kind of cheat between our sessions. You can use this website. Now I would like to copy paste and put it for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's amazing how much you can learn just
Bale.
with 2 words.
I did not
Mhm.
understand the E. You were writing it in that colored form and in the
I think it's new for me, and let me perhaps make it bigger.
Mhm.
And
Oh yeah, I can do it. So
yes.
so this is noon, right? So no, this is noon, and then this with the 2 dots in the bottom becomes knee. And
Mhm.
then with the
Exactly.
W becomes the sir, and
Yes.
then I've got
Another one for te.
this, and then we do the 2 dots here. It becomes nest.
And now you need, yes, this is for nis, and for neyestan, you need one aleph and one noon. So
Yeah.
I would
So
like you, please, all of
Aleph
us,
and
write down in your paper neyestan
Noon.
as you and show it to me, because it's the last form of this word. We want to
And guys, anyone
show.
can do this annotation. You could just bring up the annotation and write on the screen.
So we are writing actually ne, yes, tan. Okay, this is I indicate long vowel like this. This is a. So neyestan, first vowel is ne, but at the same time ne, yes, tan. So it's 3 syllables. First syllable ne, second syllable yes, last syllable tan. Ne, yes, tan. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, vowels are not indicated in Persian. So we need yes. If we want to be very accurate, we put short vowel of e here and short vowel of e after ye, ne, yes, tan. Do you see this vowel shape
The
below
Y.
the letters? This indicates a in Persian, neyestan. We will learn them in near future, but for now, you see this short vowel of a. This is like a very short line under a letter. Okay. Someone asked me a question. Could you please repeat?
So the ye in Neyastan is the medial form of ye. Am I right?
Exactly. Let me write the initial form of ye. This is the initial form of ye. 2 dots below. This is the medial form of ye. And this is the final form of ye. And this is standalone. Why this is, you ask me, they are almost the same, because this attached to the previous letter. This is written separately. But now I would like to write for you the word nay separately. Do you see nay?
Mm.
Nay doesn't need this type of ye. Ye in nay is letter. So we need the final form. I put the final form here for ne. But for neyestan, because we have stay after that, we need this type of ye, the medial form of ye. Is that clear for you?
Mhm. Yeah.
So neyestan, ne, and ye, and then se. I know maybe this is confusing when we write, the number of this: 1 for ne, 1 for ye, 3 for dots, 1 for te. And this is for aleph. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then aleph. This is a little bit maybe confusing. But yes, actually, we are learning our origin. This is our origin. Yes, this is complicated. Neyestan is the origin for reed, and
Yeah,
it
you know,
represents our origin.
if you don't mind,
Sorry.
I'm going to take a little diversion. Um, and we'll come back to Neistan. But one thing I learned as I was looking at just Rumi's work, I wondered what other poets have talked about, um, what other poets have talked about the flute. And of course, when Tagore starts his poem, his big poem is Gitanjali. And some of us might know Gitanjali. How many of you have heard of Gitanjali? Leila ji, Tagore is the Nobel Prize winning poet of yesteryear
Oh.
fame in India. And his seminal work, his big poem that got him the Nobel Prize, he was the first non-Western poet to get a Nobel Prize. And
Oh.
that Nobel Prize was based on the poem called Gitanjali. And Gitanjali is basically an offering of songs. And there are many poems. But it is interesting when in the first poem of Gitanjali, he talks about flute. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share what that is because it's very similar. And so this is the English translation. And by the way, Tagore did his own English translation. He wrote both those poems. He wrote the Bengali version and then he did the English translation. And the English translation is what got the Nobel Prize. So you say, you have made me endless, that's your pleasure. This frail vessel you empty again and again and fill ever with fresh life. It's a lot more pleasant in Bengali. He says nobo, nobo, and uh, uh, tobo. So it's rhyming. And look at this. This little flute of a reed thou hast cast over hills and dales. So he's talking about him being an instrument, but he's saying, you keep filling me and you keep emptying me, and you've carried me from so many ages. Um, I just found it fascinating that both these great poets start with the flute. But guess what? I was very interested in this flute, so I looked at the original Bengali. So if you go down to the original Bengali, there is no mention of flute. Amar tumari ashesh korecho, imoni lila tabo. That's your lila. Imoni lila tabo. Jibono nabo nabo means my life becomes new and new. And then he says, Kato je giri, kato je nodi tire. Somewhere it is giri, mountains. Kato je nodi tire. Sometimes it's on the tir of the nadi. And borele bohich hoto, e bonshib shite tire. And bansuri should be bansuri or banshi in Bengali. But he uses Banashi Tire, which basically means living in the forest. Ban Ashi Tere. A person who lives in the forest. In the Bengali, there's no reference to the flute. Nowhere in this whole thing the flute comes. So I was fascinated that when he did his own translation, because he was talking to Western audiences, he says, look, I'm talking about a flute. But in his own Bengali, he didn't need to because everyone knows what he's talking about. Something that lives in the forest. And I found it fascinating that all he needed to say was Ban Ashitere, something living in the forest, to imply that it was a bansuri. And this is what we are talking about here. We in the first stanza we said nay, which is the flute, and then nay stan, which is the place of the flute.
Yeah.
And they're actually related. The nay and the nay stan are related because the flute and the place of the flute. Of course, the flute is crying because it has been cut with its throat has been severed from the bed of the reed. So it's crying. And here, in Bengali, he doesn't even talk about it. He talks about Bon Ashitere, and Bon Ashitere somehow reminds us of Bonsi, which is a flute, but he's not talking about a flute. So I found it fascinating that both these great poets, not only do they talk about flute, they talk about the place where the flute comes from. And I find that really fascinating. But because what is Nestan? Nestan is Rab, it's God.
It's God, yes.
We come from God. Nestan is God. And Ne is us. We are the instruments. And we are little instruments of God that have been severed. Our necks have been severed from God. And now we are crying. And all the men and women in the world, Mardozan, are listening to our cries. So I found this kind of fascinating. Sorry for taking a about turn.
This was
No,
fascinating.
no,
Thank you
no,
so much.
absolutely.
Yes, and sorry to interrupt you, but yes, as I told you, Rumi represents the soul's separation from the divine source, or from the spiritual realm. Neyestan is a metaphorical home, or I don't know, it's a state of unity between us and the divine,
Yeah,
from which the soul has been, as you
separated.
said, has been severed, leading to the longing and sorrow. So the reeds sounds reflects the soul's yearning to return to the state of divine connection. So
Yeah,
because of this, Rumi prefers Ney narrates his story,
yeah. No, but
because
it's also
same
fascinating
story.
now that you say that, how Tagore starts is you make me endless. We were endless
Yes,
together, but now I got severed from you, but you keep filling me up. And
yes,
by singing, the flute gets connected and becomes
yes,
endless.
you're right, exactly.
And I think good
So
interpretation. I think, and the
yes,
similarity of both Tagore and Rumi are fascinating, how you connected that.
great. So so I would like to ask you, so I put two homework for you. First of all, please try to write down the word Neyestan. So remember, this is the word of you for this week. Try to write down Neyestan. Go as much as you can. And please, like the previous, ask you to read aloud your voice on the second verse and put it for me. First of all, I will put my voice, and please, after me, you record your voice and put it there. So this is the link for that website.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
For the alphabet. And yes, I'm looking forward to your readings. And Shiv, could you please, as a first one, read this verse one more time to us?
Yeah.
I can share screen with you, and you can
I think
see
I
the
might have the verse.
this is here, of course.
Yeah,
But
I think I have it. Give me yeah.
okay.
Kaz neistan ta maraba bobrida and
Yes.
az nafiram mardozan nalida and.
Perfect. Shiv, could you please read this word one more time? Bobride and.
Oh, it's bobrida. Kaz neistan ta maraba bobrida and
Breathe in.
bobrida and. But so between the two bays, there's no vowel.
Short
Sometimes
vowel, yes, short vowel of O, which is not indicated here. This is my mistake of actually because I used to having no vowels, short vowels. Okay. کزنیستان تا مرا ببریدند. So there is a short vowel of O over B. ببریدند.
bobrida.
And بریدن in Persian means to cut.
So there normally it would have a short vowel, but people would also understand what this is. So maybe they don't.
Yes. In modern Persian, we don't need them, but it's a big problem when when we want to teach it. And because of this, many linguists they recommend to write down all short vowels or to change the Persian script
So
to
how would you
English one.
how would you read the short vowel? If can you?
Yes.
Uh,
Let me show you. We have 3 short vowels in Persian, which is very easy. You learn in a just minute. So this is this is
if I share something, you will be able to annotate. So let me
oh
share this, and now if you can just say annotate, you see the annotate button?
I don't see anything. Maybe
Uh,
I'm here right now. I'm here. Okay, I'm here, but I cannot write in this page.
no, but you can say annotate and then draw.
Ah.
So click on annotate, and then you'll have a little pencil.
Okay. Where is the annotates?
You know where it says audio, video, participants, chat, the
Okay,
Zoom thing.
okay,
It says it has a little pencil. Do you see it?
okay. Yes, you're right. This pencil.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then
I will do it.
yeah.
Ah,
Then I can make pictures.
my God. Uh, Annotate. So, okay. I feel very powerful now. So this is when suppose there is a letter, whatever, when this shows a, this shows o a. When there is a below a letter, this is a. Over a letter is a, and this
Okay,
is
can you see what
o.
she's saying? I can't see it.
I think it's
You
not right.
cannot. Oh, maybe because I share the screen with you.
Maybe only I can do the annotation because I'm so powerful.
Okay, yes, I lost my power. So look
Oh, maybe I can. I don't know. This is the first time I've used it, but
at here. I can show you
wait,
this.
wait. I can give you remote
Yes.
control. Oh, I gave you remote control.
Okay.
I give control to Leila ji.
So, okay, can you see this? What I'm writing? No?
No.
Uh-huh.
So we'll figure it out how to do it.
Okay, so for now, if you look at my page, I'm writing short vowels. Do you see this word page?
Yes, now we see it.
So as you see, this is B. If I put this. This is short vowel of a. So this is ba. This is be. And this is bo. So this is ba. Be plus short vowel of a. Be plus short vowel of e. Be plus short vowel of o. So ba, be, bo.
But there's Babebo. There's no short vowel for E.
No, this short vowel, actually, we think that this is the short vowel is short of a,
E.
change to
Yeah.
a.
But,
So a, o, a, o.
Leila Khanum, one. I think how would you like be Nazir?
Then we need a long vowel. B plus E, B, this is B,
Be Nazir.
and
This
be
answer-
Nazir. Be Nazir. Be Nazir means unique, without, there is no similar. Be means without, and Nazir means similar.
Parallel,
Be
parallel.
Nazir means,
Exceptional.
yes, exceptional or unique or without any similar.
and also this
This
z
ze.
is
We
also
call it
different.
Arabic ze. This is
Ze.
Arabic ze. What type of
It's
Arabic ze?
Zaza. It is Punjabi Z. Not Z. But we have the same thing. J and Z. For example,
This is the Punjabi z, not the z.
yeah.
Yes,
This
this
is
is
Zaza.
deze. This is deze. This is Punjabi.
So when we say where do we use the
Zendegi,
is
you should memorize it. When we know a word is in Arabic, we usually go to Arabic ze. But zendegi, this is ze. The most common ze I would like to teach you soon is ze. This kind of ze. It's very, very simple Persian ze for zendegi. You already know ne, so I wrote ne and then de and then ge, zendegi. And
but you don't need a short vowel for zindagi for the z.
yes, it's better to put e for
zindagi. Yeah.
ze, and it's better to put e for de, zendegi. Because this is ze, this is short vowel of e. Ne, zen, first syllable zen, second syllable de, and last syllable gi. Zendegi, zendegi. So do you see e at the end?
Yeah, I love that, when the swan goes away, it's E.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Going away,
You're
far
right.
away.
Yes. Zendegi. Yes. You can suppose you are learning kind of drawing in first session. Please take it easy for yourself and just imitate in your papers. Okay?
And the
After a while, they will be easier for you. Sorry, someone said something.
The O in bo, like you said, ba, be, and bo.
Perfect. This is like what? How do you describe it?
This is like a comma, but if we were to put like bone or something where we have to put it over here.
Like this, over be. Again, this is over be, and ne is here.
I could do bone.
Yeah, because Beshno.
Good question. Beshno in Beshno.
It was
Very,
short.
very good question. We have sometimes, this is the problem of the script. Yes, sometimes in Beshno, I would like to write Beshno again. Be, short vowel of e, she, and ne, and then o. You asked me a good question. Why I didn't write it like this? Beshno.
That's why I got confused.
Yes, a good question. Because actually, when O is located in the end of the letter, we never indicate it. We don't like to indicate short vowels. If I remove it, maybe some of people read it beshan, boshon,
Besh-
whatever. So because of this, when O is located in the end of the word, we prefer to write it completely. Beshno.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, good. Good.
Yes, yes, it was a good question. So yes, beshno. And short vowel of E below be. Beshno. Beshno.
Also,
Beshno
can you tell us when as is used and when cas is used?
Good question. As is a preposition, very normal preposition. I want to say I went from Tehran to Delhi. I said as تهران به دهلی رفتم. I went from Tehran to Delhi. So as means from.
From.
But what is Kaz? Kaz in poetry, the poet forced to say Kaz. Of course, we don't have any Kaz in Persian words. This is Ke plus as. Ke in Persian is a conjunction. It means that. And as again means from. So we have only one word, as. No difference in as or in kaz.
Oh,
Okay? But here we attach two words because the meter of the poem asks us to intensify and say kaz instead of keaz. And why he put ke at the beginning of the second verse? Because in the first line, he said, بشنو از نی چون حکایت می کند.
no,
از
but
جدا
it does oh, I see.
Yes, second line. از جدایی هاش شکایت می کند که so some kind he connect the first verse to
Line
the
with the
second
second line.
verse. He said he complained about separations, saying that ever since they were cut me from the Negestan, I've been mourning, and everybody have been mourning with me. So this K is kind of connects the first verse to the second verse.
What what is Mara?
Good question. مرا کز نیستان تا مرا ببریده اند. The whole verse is this. کز نیستان تا مرا ببریده اند. So in Persian, he's that from نیستان ever since مرا. So مرا is combination of two words in Persian. Maro is man plus ra. And you know that, or you will learn that man in Persian means I. And ra in Persian has no meaning. No meaning. Don't worry about ra. Ra is object marker in Persian. That shows man, mara means me. Ever since they cut me, not cut I. Do you understand? It's just a grammatical, it has a grammatical role. It doesn't change anything in the meaning, but says that it's not a subjective form of I, but objective form of me. They have separated me from Nayastan. But slowly.
So Who is this they? Who has separated him?
Oh, good question. Why no one asked me who is this they? Who separated Rumi from the divine source? Who separated us from the divine source, or separated Ney from Neyastan? I don't know. This is the question.
Um,
But usually in Persian, translators, as I told you, the translator translated, they don't see this they translate it into a passive structure. They said, I were cut. But literally, it's not I were cut. This they cut me. This was my fate. In Masnavi, you see a lot. When the subject is not the case, they use in Persian, we use plural subject. We say they.
when in Farsi, is plural used for God or is it singular for God?
No, we don't use plural for God.
Okay.
We don't use it. This is not plural. So so it's a good question, because it shows that don't think about that God. It's not God, but it in Persian sometimes we don't want to talk about the subject. Then we use plural subject. What is the reason why we don't want to talk about the subject? Sometimes it's a dangerous subject. Sometimes it's not important at all. Maybe here is not important. Who separated us? Anyway, we were separated. So, but maybe someone think about that. This
It's also nice because in the second line he's talking about mardozan, so that's a plural, and so they have to end nalideand.
Yes,
It rhymes with
kind of
bobrida.
this. Yes, because we need rhyme between bobrida and nalida, and this structure, this grammar helps here to adjust that rhyme.
That's nice.
Sorry to interject, Shivji. I think my interpretation will be separation means when you're born into this word, you're separated from the divine source. So that is what is separation is not divine word. When you're come into this earth, you're separated. Now, even the child is supposed to be a soul which has come into that, but he is disconnected from the mighty Almighty. So this is what he means. I mean, that would be my interpretation.
Yeah, no, that's where I was going, but that would mean that God himself has separated us, and God is doing everything. That's also something that we talk about. And so that's why I was saying, if in Indian languages God is taken as plural. So unhone kiya.
Not in Persian.
If in Hindi, if in Punjabi, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜੁਦਾ ਕੀਤਾ.
Yeah.
ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜੁਦਾ ਕੀਤਾ, ਰੱਬ ਹੀ ਮਿਲਾਏਗਾ. I was trying to see if that's true in Farsi, but apparently it's not.
No, it's not. It's not the case in Persian. We use a singular verb for God, but in many cases, when we don't want to mention the subject, it's not important. It's not the case. Sometimes subject is not important, but what happened?
Yeah.
Is important thing.
Yeah, I think that happens in English also, where you're, when you're not
Why
sure.
happened?
Yeah. For whatever reason, my
Anyway,
Wi-Fi is not that great, so I think I'm cutting in and out.
I think we've gone way over time anyway. It's 7:30. I mean, it's
it's
90
time.
minutes already.
I'm sorry to make this session longer than usual. I prefer to keep it to end it on time, because it's better for all of us. It's a kind of discipline for us to say everything in 1 hour, but we will do it better. Thank you for everything. Have a nice
Thank you, guys.
day.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
Very informative, very knowledgeable.
Ji.
We appreciate
Thank
from
you.